Hey everybody, peace and blessings, and thank you for clicking on this video. I am Letitia. I'm a 43-year-old homeschooling, home managing, millennial mom of 5 children. I'm an intuitive, an immigrant living in the US, and an INFJ empath. I was born in Barbados. I see myself as someone who is a new earth frequency messenger, light worker, beacon, however you want to perceive it. But basically, I create videos putting out what I see as light codes, digital seeds, positive energy, and I talk about things. I share my thoughts and opinions on things. I dance, I do all kinds of things on here, because my whole purpose online, my whole presence online right now, is to be a beacon of light, to hold the light, but also to share my awareness and my thoughts, my perspective on what's happening in the world. So, I'm aware of the things. And this video is to talk about somebody that I haven't talked about in 10 months since that person was in power. Dude that I haven't talked about in 10 months since he was in power. DJT, right? DJT. Let's talk about him a minute. DJT, the destroyer. DJT, the unaliver. DJT, the cheat, criminal, corrupt, narcissistic, egotistical entity that he is, right? A force of darkness, right? And this is a big, this is a triggering word. This is a big word I'm going to use. But DJT, the Antichrist, right? So I wanted to talk about DJT in two parts. So I don't think this video is gonna make it in 10 minutes. And this one that I wanted to talk about is the Antichrist version of it. Now everybody got all kinds of opinions and teachings and knowledge and understanding and how they perceive what the Antichrist is, and etc., etc., etc. I don't come from any kind of standpoint that necessarily has to match how other people see it. I'm just going to share my perspective. I had a Christian upbringing, so to speak, but not one of the strict Christian upbringings. I was one of the people that was in and out of the church. My mom was in and out of the church, and I was in and out of the church, right? That's my history with it. I remember watching 2 end of times theme movies at the church one time. When I was younger, I remember my mom taking me to the church to see this movie that scared me to death, and I don't remember all the elements to it, but I remember how it made me feel. I remember a few scenes of it, and I remember how fear-based it was. Even though at the time I thought that was a normal thing, and I was like, okay, it was supposed to scare us. I was young. It was supposed to scare us. It was supposed to scare us straight, so we would get our life together, so we wouldn't want to be so we wouldn't experience that experience of being left behind. So I watched that, and I remember some of the scenes from it, but mostly I remember the feeling of it, the emotion that came from it, and the emotion that I carried with me because of it. So I remember that. And I also remember watching, I think it's from the Left Behind series. I watched one of them with, what's his name? Kirk Cameron, I think it is. And I remember there was this scene where he was the only body that saw the Antichrist for what he was. And nobody else saw the Antichrist. Nobody else realized he was the Antichrist. But Kirk Cameron, I think that's his name, he saw the Antichrist for what he was. And I remember, again, I don't remember a lot of the things from that movie. I don't even remember which movie it was, but I remember the feelings that came from it. And I remember that scene in particular. It stuck with me. And for a long time, as I was paying attention, watching this thing play out, but especially after November, I even remember listening to a tarot reader who, she stopped doing political tarot now, but a tarot reader from Australia that I used to listen to, Ellie Dreams from Down Under, and she once said in a reading that if he won he was the Antichrist. I don't know if she actually believed it or not, but she said it, right? Based on her reading of the cards, right? And that stuck with me. So when he won, that stuck with me. And I don't know exactly. I don't have a background in studying the Antichrist, in reading my Bible back to front, into doing Bible school, into being a Bible scholar. I don't know this stuff, you know, thoroughly. So I cannot speak to you from a scholarly point of view. I can only speak to you from what I've experienced with that conversation. Other than those moments of and those memories that stuck with me, the Antichrist has always been just like a rumor, like a thing that I know, but I never studied or paid attention to, right? Because I was never one to be in my Bible so deeply and so thoroughly that I know which part of the Bible the Antichrist is talked about. I know what people talking about when they're talking about the Antichrist and where in the Bible it is, what it based the verses on. I don't know none of that stuff. I remember recently listening to a Bible scholar, well, I think he called himself a Bible scholar, and he gave the history of where the Antichrist came from and how the Antichrist and the rapture conversation came to be and came up in religion. So, and I found that to be very, very informative. But in my story, in the story in my head, this guy, DJT, feels like the energy that came from all that, right? That came from especially the scene with Kurt Cameron where nobody else seemed to be able to see that he was the Antichrist. Like the fact that he gets away with so much, the fact that this one stupid, ignorant, empty, dark, unloved creature, right? Unloved and unloving creature, which is why I consider him that Antichrist energy, because he is the opposite of Christ. He's the complete opposite of Christ. It's amazing to me how much he has affected the entire world, how much he has changed the entire world and changed, another triggering phrase, the world order, right? So we're now moving into a new world order, which is something heavy, a heavy phrase in the church community. It comes with a lot of fear. It comes with heavy baggage, right? The new world order. But as I'm saying it, I'm just talking about new as in the definition of new, and world, the world that we live in. Order, the way how it's been before. Another way of saying it, a more friendly way of saying it, is the new earth. Do something different, a shift, a new way of being, right? How he has changed everything, the way in which he has affected everything. It just amazes me. It amazes me how much power this ignorant person, this ignorant, not even fully stable, not mentally stable, dementia feeling, like he feels like he's in a season of dementia. He feels like his mental cognizant, his mental capacities aren't fully there, but yet still he is being used as a puppet for all those who have clung to him, all those who are attracted to his energy, all those who found opportunity through him to create the world that they wanted, to use the power that he harnessed to create the world they wanted. How much he has changed everything, and he has affected all of us. He affected all of our lives, and I just found it to be mind-blowing, and it just gives me that Antichrist energy. But one of the things I want to say is that I don't fear that word. That word doesn't come with fear for me. That word comes with eventually the pursuit of knowledge, for me to learn more about it if I feel like it. But he does feel like the opposite of everything that Christ is, the opposite of love, the opposite of everything that Christ is, and not only opposite, but like against it, right? Totally against it, totally fighting against everything that is good in this world. So that's where I get that feeling from. Thank you for watching.